All right, let's take a look at another conversion problem. This time we're going to have more units, and this time we're going to have units in both the numerator and the denominator. All right, so let's say that you're in Europe and you got a car and it gets 22 kilometers per liter of gasoline. How many mpg, right, miles per gallon? So let's think about how we're going to do this. First of all, we're going to identify what's, our given values. And in this case, we're given 22 kilometers per liter. So we can write that as 22 km, right? Because the number goes with the numerator. The 22 goes with the kilometers over liters. And in this case, it's just 1 liter. When there's not a number identified, it's equal to 1. And then we think about what we want to end up with. MPG is miles per gallon. So what we want to end up with is, miles per gallon. And that would be equal to MI, miles over gallons, right? So we want the numerator to be miles and the denominator to be gallons. And we're going to do conversions until we get there. And then we think about what other conversion units were either given in the problem or we have memorized. In this case, I'm going to give you some conversion units because I don't really think that memorizing these is useful. 1 mile is equal to approximately 1.609 kilometers. And 1 gallon is equal to approximately 3.785 liters, right? So these are not exact conversions because they're between different units of measurement. All right, so let's just go ahead and start this problem, right? I realize that I have kilometers in my numerator. That's not what I want my numerator at the end. I want miles. So before I even think of anything else, boom, I can put kilometers down here because I know I'm going to have to cancel it out. And then I think about, okay, I've got my kilometers over here. Where else do I have my kilometers? Well, I have it right over here. And then on the other side, I have miles, which is exactly what I want. So I can just copy those numbers over. With the KM, it goes 1.699. And then on the other, oh, whoops, my bad, that's 609. Copied that from my notes incorrectly. And then on the top just goes 1 mile, right? And so then we cancel those units out. Right, the km cancels out with the km, and now in my numerator I have miles, which is exactly what I want. So I am done with my numerator. Now I have to think about my denominator, this bottom part. Right now I have liters. I want to end up with gallons. So I'm going to set up another unit conversion type of system. This time liters is on the bottom. So for it to cancel out, liters must go on the top, right? I haven't looked at any conversion units. I know I have liters down here and I don't want liters. So I know I'm going to have to put liters up here so it can cancel out with something else. And then I simply think about, well, what the heck unit do I have for liters? And so I look at my conversion units. In this case, it was given to me in the problem. And then on the other side is gallons, which is perfect because that's exactly what I want. So I just put the numbers in, 3.785 liters. And then on the bottom goes 1 gallon. The liters and the liters cancel out. And so if I think about what remaining units I have miles over gallons, which is exactly what I want. And then we go ahead and plug that into our calculator. So I would take 22, I would divide it by 1.609 because it's in the numerator, and then I would hit multiply times 3.785. Make sure you're trying these out in your calculator. That way you're getting the correct answer and that you ensure that you know how to use your calculator. And so when you type that down, you get 50.75 and then a whole bunch of numbers, miles per gallon. And if we think about our sig figs here, our significant digit here is this 2. We're doing all multiplication and division. So this one right here has 2 sig figs. All the other numbers have at least 2 sig figs. The ones here are exact, but these other numbers are not exact, but they both have 4 sig figs. So our answer is limited to 2 sig figs because of the 22 kilometers. So we have to round to this number right here, and you get 52 miles per gallon as the answer. Pretty efficient car.